Yeah. All right. We are live on YouTube. How's everyone doing today? How's it going? It's a little bit windy today. Look at that. I put my jacket on today. The sun is starting to go down. Don't let the sun go down on me. Okay. Never mind. That was I believe it was George Michael and Elton John. Wow, welcome to episode number 1055. Episode number 1055 of Navigating the Modern World with Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. Live today from the San Francisco Bay Trail here at Bear Island. Give me a second. I have people coming parallel on both sides. And today, we're going to be taking any questions that you have. Ask any questions. And what would you like to get out of the GNA? That's what we're going to be talking about here today. Respectfully, Mitchell, and professionally, Don is here. Hey there, love. Hey, babe. And Sarah's here as well. Sarah has gotten her mod wrench back. And to remind everyone, this is a members-only live chat. It is a publicly viewable stream, but only members with at least a $2.99 channel membership can chat. If you're a moderator, you can chat for free. If you still want to become a member, that's up to you. Don and I are going to be also doing some members-only live streams from the studio and the couch. Once we reach 10 members, at least at the $4.99 level, that'll get you members-only live streams while they're live. Replays of those members-only live streams are not included at the $4.99 level. If you want the replays, you'll have to go with the $9.99 package, which will also include everything else. And on top of that, any pre-recorded members-only videos we do, you'll get that all at the $9.99 per month level. And we're going to start pushing more paid content and more donations because we are a business. We are a cause-based business. And even though for the time being we're for-profit, eventually we plan on going at least partially non-profit. Even though we are for-profit, what we do here is for the better good of humanity, for the better good of people. And in order to continue doing this into the future, we need to get funded. So if you feel it in your hearts and your souls and you want to send a super chat or a super sticker or become a channel member, or if you would prefer to send a Cash App or PayPal, Nightbot is sharing our Cash App and PayPal links every 7 minutes in the chat. Feel free to do so at your discretion. And as always, donations are greatly appreciated, but they are not required. But without them, we can't do this well into the future. So thank you for your consideration regarding that. I'm still going to join memberships at the $4.99 level. Where do you see the GNA in 5 years? That's good. It will cut down on the trolls. I'll get to all that in just a little bit. And yeah, no worries about good faith. That's what we're all about here. You know, I've always been about doing things on a good faith basis my entire life. I'm sorry, folks, it's a little windy here. I hope you can all hear me. And I'm only going to be doing 3 out of the 3.5 miles today because I'm short on time. And I just want to get back home and hang out with my lady and have some dinner. We're going to have a long day tomorrow. Donna and I are going to be going to dinner tomorrow. She also has another dental appointment, and there's something else. Oh yeah, Donna and I are also going to be doing a Walking with Purpose stream together tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what time it's going to be. It'll probably be sometime in the early to mid-afternoon Pacific time, probably late afternoon, early evening Eastern time. Now, tomorrow's stream, per Dawn's request, is going to be a subscribers only chat. That's her call on that. She said to me earlier today that when I come on walks with you occasionally and we do these shows, we should open them up just for that show and use that as an opportunity to promote the memberships. I said, okay, that'll work. I had not planned on doing that, but you know, I have a good team of executive leaders. I couldn't ask for a better executive team. You know, Dawn and Sandra and Tia. And obviously Dawn's my lady, so she's been very loyal and faithful, but Tia and Sandra and Tia have been amazing. They're two very loyal and decent and reasonable people. And you know, like I said a little bit ago, I have always done things on a good faith basis in my entire life. When I came out here on YouTube, you know, to start this new business a little over 7 years ago, I didn't realize how many people take advantage of your kindness and your good faith. With a lot of people doesn't mean shit out here. You know, it's like a big bloodbath. You know, it's about what can they take from you, not contribute, right? I've always been about contributing and collaborating and working together and growing exponentially together, but out here on YouTube, people take your good faith and shove it up your ass. That's what they do. And I really want to make a difference to try to turn that around. Because even though there are a lot of selfish knuckleheads on the platform that do these stupid things, there are a lot of decent people out here that deserve their fair shot at success. And a lot of these decent people are being screwed over by the knuckleheads that are gaming the system to at least temporarily be more successful than the people that are doing it the right way and deserve to be successful but are being screwed over by the knuckleheads, you know? Don't sound so excited to go to dinner. I'm very excited to go to dinner, babe. I'm just, I'm in an emotional state. I'm not going to lie. I'm in an emotional state because I love the GNA and what it was created for way back in 2011. And I love helping people. And I love doing this every day. You know? But I'm not going to lie. I put my heart and soul into this. And it's not easy to try to grow a legitimate business. It's not easy trying to grow something that is not about getting drama views and clicks and creating content over conflict like many people do. It's much harder to get this vision going. And I've had to deal with many more unusual things than the average small YouTuber has had to go through and deal with on their way to success. And I'll tell you, it's been emotionally draining. It's been physically draining. It's really taken a lot out of me, but I keep going because I believe in the vision and I believe in myself and I believe in what I'm doing here and we're doing here is for the better good. Thank you to the 33 people that are here. So feel free to ask any questions. And also share with us what the GNA means to you. In the meantime, I will share what the GNA means to me. I started the organization back in 2011. It was in the early days after I had gotten licensed a few years before that time as a licensed insurance agent / broker for property and casualty and life and health. And I was attending a lot of networking events, and some of them were pretty costly. I had joined the Chamber of Commerce. It was pretty costly, but it was worth it. Some events were worth the money, and other events weren't really worth the money. And a lot of the more private events that cost some money, there were a lot of clicks at those events. And those events were more geared towards the people that were running them and promoting their businesses, instead of making it more of a general networking event where it's about everybody. And it's about learning about everybody and what they do and how we can help them move their business forward. We had a motto at the events, and the motto was, what can I do to help you move your business forward? One more time, the motto was, what can I do to help you move your business forward? We would chant that at the beginning of each of our events. And we would teach people, as a small business owner or entrepreneur, when you're going to networking events, yes, you are there to promote your business, but you're also there to get to know people and learn about their business and how you can help their business, because through helping other people, the law of reciprocity will pay you back. And that's how I've always done things. I've always given, and given more And after I've given so much, then it starts to come back. Now, sometimes you join certain groups and you give, and keep on giving, and you get shit back. And if you are a part of a group where you've gone there to be a giver, you've done everything right, and there's been zero reciprocation, you've got to cut your ties and move on. And that's why I started the GNA, because I came across a lot of those groups that were more so one-sided, even though they didn't claim that. Obviously, they're not going to claim that, right? But I wanted to start something that was fair and equal to everyone and was either free or low cost. And when I started running the GNA events, we started in the Bay Area, we expanded to the Central Valley area, and then we expanded to the Sacramento area. We were all over Northern California. I think at one point we had a total of 10 chapters all over Northern California, and I was driving around like a chicken with my head cut off. And I think out of all the events we ran, the years we ran events, we ran probably at least 500-600 events. I think I only missed 2 or 3 events all over Northern California. At the same time, I was writing insurance policies, servicing customers. I would work out of my car. Back then I had a 4G, 3G, then a 4G LTE, mobile connect card. Before we got the smartphones and all that, before the smartphones and you were able to tether or to hotspot them, right? So I'd work out of my car, I'd work out of a Starbucks or a Pete's Coffee, and go to events. I would also have one-on-one coffee meetings with other entrepreneurs to get to know, like, and trust them. That's another thing that we're big on at the GNA, and we still are. It's about the know, like, and trust process, getting to know people, liking people, and trusting people. And that's how I do things out here on YouTube. It's about the know, like, and trust process or concept. Sarah says the GNA offers a community of people helping people. It does. It does. It really does. And we have helped a lot of people, and they've moved on to bigger and better things. I'll tell you, since I moved the GNA to YouTube and the internet from the in-person events, we stopped running them about 2.5 years before COVID hit. About maybe like 2 years before COVID hit. And then we have not brought him back. At some point, I do want to bring back the in-person events to a certain degree, but we're still going to be doing things primarily online. We're also going to be, doing special events via Zoom. We're going to have a lot of different things that we're going to be offering to the public in the future. So not everything's going to be on YouTube. YouTube is the primary place where we promote what we do. But there's so much more in the works of this vision. And if anyone out there has any other suggestions regarding something or other things that you'd like us to work on or offer to the public, you can let us know here on these live streams, or you can email me. For the time being, eliasmelas at genuinenetworkingassociation.org. Eventually, it's going to be eliasmelas at GNAnetwork.org. I already have the GNAnetwork.org and GNAnetwork.com domains on top of GenuineNetworkingAssociation.org and .com domains. But I got the GNAnetwork.org and .com domains because it's much shorter. And I've realized in this day and age, having a long email address, there's a great chance that people are going to misspell it and you're not going to get the email, or it'll go off the page or something like that. So all of that's in progress. And we hope to have all the new stuff in place by the beginning of 2026. Last year in 2024, all of last year in 2024, we were telling people that we're working on, the legal aspects of the business, making it bulletproof, protecting the business more than it already was protected. We didn't realize, there were some holes, and some people on YouTube exploited those holes as a troll and for content, and it caused some legal issues. Those have all been resolved. The GNA has been an LLC now for over a year. We have a registered trademark with the Secretary of State's office. Our United States Patent and Trademark Office trademark, the big one, the national one, is going to be approved any day now. I'm just waiting for the trademark attorney with the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, to just finalize the application. It's gone through the process. Nobody contested it. Nobody filed a notice of opposition after it was approved for publication in the TMOG, Trademark Online Gazette. I've got a fictitious business name, DBA, Elias Melas. At Elias Melas, DBA, Genuine Networking Association, GNA. I've also got the business license here in the city of Redwood City. I actually just renewed the business license again. It was set to expire June 30th. Now it expires, June 30th, 2025. Now it expires June 30th, 2026. You can go to the redwoodcity.org website and search business licenses. You'll see our business license there. So we put a lot of time and effort into protecting the business in 2024, and we said in 2025 we're going to come out like a rocket, and if people violate us, then we're going to protect ourselves. We've also filed for a bunch of copyright certificates through the U.S. Library of Congress, also known as the U.S. Copyright Office. So we've been busy preparing for the future. So now in 2025, the one thing we're waiting for is that the federal registered trademark. We've got our state trademark through the California Secretary of State office. So we're just waiting for the federal registered trademark through the USPTO, United States Patent and Trademark Office, and then we're going to be shifting things over to different emails. All the GNA executives and certain others that work with us at a higher capacity or higher level will get a GNAnetwork.org email at GNAnetwork.org. Our website is going to be more overhauled. I'll be working more on it. I've been slowly getting the updates done. The website is at genuinenetworkingassociation.org, but if you go to gnanetwork.org, it'll automatically redirect you to genuinenetworkingassociation.org. So I don't know if I'm going to change the full website to gnanetwork.org, or I'll just have it redirect there. And once you get redirected there by going to gnanetwork.org, it'll be genuinenetworkingassociation.org. I may switch it over. It's kind of a bit of a process, but we may end up doing that. But regardless, the emails will become shorter, and we're also going to more so focus on branding the organization as the GNA network. Nowadays, short and sweet is what people want. Now, we're still the Genuine Networking Association. If people ask, what is the GNA network? GNA stands for Genuine Networking Association. We're still going to be helping business owners. We're still connected with lots of entrepreneurs because we're entrepreneurs ourselves. And most people out here on YouTube, you're technically an entrepreneur. So we're still going to help entrepreneurs. We're still also going to help people with dating and marriage tips, dating and marriage advice. And most importantly, we are a resource unlike anything you've ever seen. We've experienced pretty much every aspect of life. Don and I have experienced so much in life. Even with health insurance, dealing with doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, primary care physicians, dealing with insurance, dealing with government programs and all that. We've dealt with all that. And we know other people that need help with those things are not getting the right help. We will truly help you with the resources you need. And we do all of that at no cost. Now, if we help you out and you get value and you choose to want to donate after that, that's on you. You don't have to donate, but at the same time, we'll let you folks know we can't survive without donations. That's the bread and butter of this business. Another thing we're going to focus on, like I said, Zoom calls. We're going to have some Zoom calls, some, emotional support type of groups. And we're going to have a structure for that, and there will more than likely be a small fee for that. We may also offer... What the hell was that? Oh, that's a cop that pulled someone over on the side of the freeway. Man, that megaphone that they have behind their front grill. That thing is super loud. You can hear it on the trail. It almost sounds like they're pulling up on the trail behind you. Respectfully, maturely, and professionally. It's actually $2.99, babe. The members only live chat is not $1.99, it's $2.99. Just to, correct you because it is $1 more than you mentioned. That was an honest mistake. We need you to sign up for a $1.99 membership so I can chat with you guys. Yeah, and here's the thing. We've given away so many things for free here. And we're going to continue giving at least half of what we do away for free. But the business will never be able to sustain itself if we don't start to charge for some things minimally. And if you truly value what we do here and you value your time with us and you're getting value in some way, shape, or form. You know, a $3 per month investment is really nothing. Now, I'd suggest going with the $4.99 or $9.99. The $9.99 will get you everything because you'll be deep into our community at that point. You'll have access to Don and I most of the time through members-only live streams, members-only live chats, and you even have access to Sandra and Tia and other people in the GNA. And it's going to be more personable. No trolling, no hating. You're going to be a part of these more personalized type of events. More peaceful, right? And if you're struggling with something, if you're going through something, like, you know, like Tia lost her husband a couple years ago. God rest his soul, and God bless him, and God bless you, Tia. And she came to us, and we said, hey, we're here for you. Whatever you need, we'll talk with you whenever you want. No charge. Now, she's been one of our top donors, but that's on her own free will. She's never been forced to donate, and she's never felt forced. But 2 years later, of course, she still misses her husband and always will. But she's been able to learn to cope with it better because she got the right support. And I'm not saying that we're saints here at the GNA. We're not. But we have big hearts. And we are truly there for people in their time of need to help them process their emotions and grieve a little bit easier, or as easy as possible, because we know it's not easy to grieve over someone that you've lost, over someone that has passed away. Other people go through divorce or a breakup. I've been through many breakups in my life, and they suck ass. And they hurt. And they really are just sad. And you don't feel like doing shit. And you feel alone and miserable, and you feel, I've been there. I felt alone. I felt miserable. That's why I call people on YouTube that are lonely and miserable, because you are, because I've been there. Because I know that being single after going through a breakup and feeling like you got dumped because you're not worthy, right? It sucks. It hurts. I've been there. So I know how you folks feel. That's another thing that we're there to help people through. And we have helped a lot of people. And we've also been scrutinized that, well, there are no testimonials or this and that. We don't ask people for testimonials. We haven't asked for any testimonials at this point. But there are a lot of people that have come across what we do here and have allowed us to help them. And they were able to work through what they were struggling with and move forward and push through the pain and the hurt. Sorry, it's $2.99. Yeah, no worries, babe. It's all good. No worries. We hope to help people online and offline, but I will tell you where I've seen the majority of people that are struggling emotionally. They're out here on YouTube. Yeah, there are some on Facebook, and there are some on other social media platforms, and yes, there are people that are not even on social media that have issues, but I'm noticing now more so over the last 7 to 10 years, they're here on YouTube. They're coming out here on YouTube, like I said before, and they're looking for an outlet. People are looking for an outlet to take their mind off of whatever is affecting them currently. Like I said, could be the death of a family member, going through divorce, going through a relationship breakup, losing your job, right? Getting into a car accident, whatever. There are so many things that people go through, and they're really struggling. They end up really struggling, right? And many people don't have anyone to turn to. They either don't have any family at all, or the family that they do have, they've either burned their bridge with their family, or their family has just decided to not be helpful. So there are a lot of people that are all alone with lots of issues, and they're desperately seeking the acceptance and the help from people that understand what they're going through. We understand what you're going through here at the GNA. But the problem is, a lot of these people, like I've said before, they look for people on YouTube that are similar to them. Because again, like I've always said, like attracts like, right? Like attracts like. You are who you associate with. It's true. Everything I've said in the past is true, right? And there's nothing wrong with hanging out with like-minded people. The problem is when the way you relate to them is through the same mental and emotional issues you're going through. That's not going to help any of you in that group. All that's going to do is further enable you folks to sink further and further into depression. Because all of you are going to say, hey, I understand what you're going through. I'm going through the same thing. I get it. Right? But what are you doing for each other to help each other work through the issue? You go and attack other YouTubers like myself, or other positive YouTubers like myself, as a pathetic attempt to mask the pain, to make yourselves feel better. In many cases, you have one or two creators that are running a group of 40, 60, or 100 or even more people that are in that similar state of depression and misery, including the creator running that group. And they all constantly enable that behavior to continue moving forward. And they all lead each other to believe that they're right about everything, and all the people that are in a better place than they are, mentally, emotionally, and are in a more positive place, they say that we're wrong about everything and they're right. That's the problem, right? This is not about me wanting to be right or wrong, or it's not about me wanting to be right about everything. It's about doing the right thing that's going to help these people get ahead, break through their issues, and turn their lives around and become more positive. Okay? Work through the depression and become happy. Hanging around with other people like that in these groups is not going to make a difference. It's just going to continue to enable all of you to feel more and more depressed, to feel more and more unappreciated, to feel more and more unwanted, right? A lot of these people, they want acceptance, right? They want to feel accepted, right? They're so desperate for acceptance and relevancy, right? And when there are other people like them going through the same thing, of course they're going to accept. They're going to accept the same type of people, right? And then it gives the people that are struggling a false sense of acceptance. When what these people really want, the people that are struggling emotionally, right? They want to be accepted by people that are not going through depression or trauma or anything like that. They want to be accepted by, let's just say, normal people that don't have any, crazy mental or emotional issues, right? Everybody has choices. We all have choices where we want to spend our time and who we associate with. We also have choices on how we decide to show up and how we treat others. We also have choices. Do we play games and try to manipulate people into getting what we want, or are we humble and are just grateful and thankful that we've been accepted into a good group of people, right? And then over the course of time, things will just blossom into whatever it was meant to be, right? A lot of people that I've encountered, especially on YouTube, they're very impatient when it comes to trying to get results, right? And everything takes time. Even if you're going through a traumatic event, like I said, a breakup, a divorce, a death of a loved one, right? Everything takes time. But a lot of these people don't have much patience. They want a magic wand to be waved in front of them, and it just instantly fixes your problems. That's not the way it works. And you all can ask Don that, because Don and I have been together almost 4 years now. And I'll tell you, the first 3 years, Don was going through a lot of stuff. But she wanted to do something about it. And she did do something about it, but it didn't happen overnight. The Dawn you see today, she didn't wave some magic wand, or I didn't wave some magic wand in front of her face and everything got fixed. It took time and effort and patience. If you want to get real results regarding anything in life, personal development, running a business, making the relationship work, right? Many people have constantly failed at relationships. I was one of them until I met Dawn. You got to work on yourself. You have to dig deep. Every time you go through a breakup, and ask yourself, what did I do that caused this breakup? Right? How did I show up? Was I easy to get along with, or was I way the fuck too needy? Was I overwhelming and overbearing? How easy was it for my partner to feel like he wants to be around me at any moment in any given day? You got to get to that point of where you learn from your mistakes, and then you try your best to not make the same mistakes the next time around. And eventually, after you make the same mistakes over and over and over again, it becomes a habit, and you realize what's fucked up all of your past relationships, and then you don't do that shit. Then your next one finally works. That's what happened with Dawn. I made a lot of mistakes in a previous relationship with a woman that I used to bring out here on YouTube named Dana. She's not a bad person. I have nothing bad to say about her. I thought I was ready for that relationship. I thought that I had everything together. I didn't. I did not. And I was going through a breakup before that with the veterinarian woman that people know out here, and she cheated on me. And I put myself out there probably a little bit too soon. I'm not a cheater. I've never cheated on anyone, but I made a lot of mistakes in the relationship with Dana. I learned from that. I also believe that things happen for a purpose. And I worked on bettering myself so when I met Dawn, I was finally in a better place and truly ready for a relationship. Now, I'm not saying in the past, in my 20s and 30s, I wasn't ready. You know, I've gone through periods in my life. I've had my ups and downs. We all have ups and downs, right? But after my relationship in my early 40s with the veterinarian, Kate, that cheated on me, I went through a lot of stuff. And quite honestly, that relationship is what lit the match. The one with Kate, the one that cheated on me, that relationship is the one that lit the match to want to do the coaching thing. And after following Coach Corey Wayne and all that, I'm like, I can do this. I've been studying in personal development already for a long time. And I want to help people not go through the same shit I went through. There were reasons why Kate cheated on me. I stopped taking care of myself. You know, there have been times in the past where I've gained 30 pounds, I've lost 30 pounds. I was super fit when I met Kate, then I gained 30 pounds. And then after she broke up with me, she cheated on me. And she basically told me that the reason why she broke up with me is because she believes in the law of attraction. She was trying to tell me she lost attraction for me. I can't blame her. I stopped taking care of myself. I got too comfortable in the relationship. It's happened even to me. After her, I lost the weight in like 5-6 months. It's real easy to lose 20, 30 pounds in less than 2 months if you're as knowledgeable about weight loss as I am and you understand and you know how to do it, right? Another thing we're going to help people with here is health and fitness. Another thing we want to help people with is how to deal with pain. Of course, you want to go see your doctor, but I have some connections regarding a product I use called real-time pain relief. You can get it in the store at some locations, but it's more expensive in the store. I used to be a distributor for it from a friend of mine named Mike that used to network with me here in the Bay Area. He's moved to Texas since that time, but he's still selling the product, and I'm going to re-sign up under him for the GNA, and we're going to be selling real-time pain relief. We're going to be offering products to people that we've tried out that we know work, and we'll get you the best price on them, and then we'll make a little bit of money that way to fund the organization. It's a win-win. But yeah, everybody goes through things, including myself. And it's bettered me to the point of when I was, how old was I when I met Dawn? I was 47, I believe. I'm 51 now. I was 47. She was 46. I'm 51. Now she's 50. I was so ready when I met Dawn. I knew she was going through stuff. And I still wanted to be with her because I loved her heart and soul and who she is. And we've always had fun together. And she's very smart. But she's a big success story for herself. I'm not taking any credit for Dawn's success. She had to decide to do it on her own. Yes, it's nice when you're with somebody. If you have a partner, it makes it a lot easier. It's not easy, period. But when you have a partner that loves you and cares for you, you know, it's a bit easier to decide, hey, I'm going to turn my life around. I'm going to stop drinking. I'm going to stop doing things that are affecting my health. For those of you that have not purchased your channel membership yet, please feel free to come back after the replay and comment in the comment section, and Don and I will respond to you within 24 hours or less. So there are a lot of things that fuel me and inspire me to keep doing this, because I want people to learn the knowledge that I've learned. I want everyone to live their life as simply as possible. I'm not saying easy, I'm saying simply. Don't be lazy. When you say as easily as possible, that's being lazy. I'm talking simply. You want to simplify everything, right? Don't complicate things, right? And there are a lot of people that I've come across on YouTube that either don't have health insurance or have health insurance and don't know what it covers. And they don't know how to handle, claims that get denied by their, by their insurance company when their provider was an in-network provider or the service was pre-approved as medically necessary. I'll tell you, if Dawn and I didn't have health insurance, if my whole family didn't have health insurance, we would be in the poorhouse. It's critical. It's not only critical to have health insurance, it's critical to make sure you have the right health insurance based on your income level. There are different programs out there. There's Medicare, that's for the extreme poor, and then for people making anywhere from, I think it's like 19 or 20,000 up until like 150 or 175,000, you qualify for Obamacare, which is the Affordable Health Care Act. Each state runs it differently. Here in California, we call it Covered California. You get federal tax credits based on your income level. That's why they call it affordable. So, if you have the minimum income around 20 grand for the Affordable Health Care Act, you get the most amount of federal tax credits. And in many cases, some insurance companies, based on the amount of tax credits you get, your monthly premium will be $0. Some will be $8 or $10. Some will be $100 or $200. If you have $100 or $200 per month monthly premium, and you have the maximum amount of federal tax credits, which is like $900 or $1,000 here in California, it's probably a little bit. It's going to be less, or I believe in some of the states back east, it's less because the cost of living is less there. It's all based on the cost of living and healthcare costs in that area. But if you're still paying $100 or $200 a month, in some cases that means you have top-notch insurance. If you didn't have the federal tax credits, it would be $1,200 a month. So think of it this way: if you're even paying $100 or $200 a month for really good insurance, that insurance in the regular market would cost you about $1,200 a month. And that's on top of your out-of-pocket maximum, which is going to be different based on your income level. It'll be somewhere between $1,000 and $10,000, $1,000 and $9,000 or $10,000. And that's why you see people out here on YouTube, that are saying, I've got medical bills, $4,000 or $5,000 in medical bills. Those people have insurance. What they're asking for is for the out-of-pocket expense that insurance doesn't cover. There's co-insurance. Some policies have deductibles, some don't, right? But basically, every policy has an out-of-pocket maximum, and until you reach that, you're going to be paying co-pays. You're going to be paying what's called co-insurance. Some services will cover you 80%. That means you still pay 20%. So if the service costs $1,000, the insurance company pays $800. You pay $200, and that deducts from your out-of-pocket maximum. So there are a lot of things like that we want to help people with. And another thing that I really want to start looking at in 2026 is filing for the GNA to also be a 501c3 nonprofit organization. And I have to see how we can do that, because we do want to have a for-profit and non-profit aspect. And there is a hybrid called an LC3, I believe. It was created like 10, 12 years ago. I was looking into it. I'm not sure what it is today. But basically an LC3 is a hybrid of a nonprofit and a for-profit. But it limits you to only be able to do $5,000. I think back then it was $5,000 on the nonprofit side. The rest has to be for-profit and taxable. And if you're going to run a full-blown nonprofit organization where you're pretty much helping people for free and you're doing cause-based stuff, you want to have a full-blown nonprofit. So, and in California, a nonprofit organization is it's very strict. It's very strict here, a 501c3. So we're going to be looking into that as well. But between now and the end of the year, Don and I are going to be focusing on building a solid foundation with people that actually want to be GNA members. And the way to become a member right now is to become a channel member here on GNA 2. There will be, you can actually go and sign up for an account on the GNA website to listen to past podcasts and stuff like that from back in the days of the original organization when I had in-person networking events. But there will be a formal registration on the GNA website. At this point right now, unless you want to listen to some, older content that I did audio only back in those days with the GNA members, you can sign up for a free account. But at some point, to become an official member, you will need to register through the website. So lots of stuff that we're working on. What's most important right now, and I hate to say it, is we need to get funded. We need more financial support. And, we're not coming out here and asking people for hundreds of dollars. We're saying, hey, if we got a group of people, a group of 100 or 200 people to join at the $4.99 or $9.99 level, that would tremendously help fund the organization. And remember, YouTube gets 30%. YouTube and Google get 30% of all the revenue made through the YouTube Partner Program, through channel memberships, ad revenue, super chats, super stickers, super thanks on the live stream replays or pre-recorded videos. But let's say at $4.99 times 100, that's what, $499. That's $500. For 200 people, that's $1,000. Minus 30%, that's $700. Minus taxes, probably about $500, $550. Even that extra $550 after taxes and all that would make a big, big difference, because, I got bills to pay with my regular income sources, and there's not a whole lot left over to reinvest back into the GNA right now. That's why we're coming on saying, hey, if you want to help us move this vision forward, now's the time to do it. And, we're going to be doing more positive type of shows like this. I'm not saying that we're never going to have another show where we call out a YouTube creator that's done us wrong. I'd like to think that would never happen again, but let's be real. No one's perfect and shit happens, right? But a show like today is what I enjoy the most. I'm cool, I'm calm, I'm collected. And it's about motivating and inspiring people. And it's about caring more about you folks than just your money. Which is why I wish that we could do this for free. I wish that, hey, the government would grant us money to do this kind of stuff. They don't. It needs to be supported by the people. Thank you so much to the 44 people that are here right now. If you're not a channel member, you can still send a super chat or super sticker. That'll still go through. But anyway, start getting your final questions, comments, and concerns in the chat. I'm going to be going off the air in just about 5 minutes or less. We are at 64 minutes, an hour and 4 minutes. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is more in studio streams and some more pre-recorded videos for the main channel. And even some more pre-recorded videos for the channel membership here. I mean, we have memberships activated on the main channel, but I may disable them there. There is a members only content there though. There's like 20 pre-recorded videos or something like that. So I got to figure out what we're going to do with that. We don't want to confuse people. That's the problem when you have two fully monetized channels with ads and everything, right? And memberships and all that. It gets confusing. You've got to consolidate things. The reason why there's two channels is one is the live streaming one and one is the pre-recorded one. Even though I've done live streaming on the main pre-recorded channel several times, you know, one thing I said last year, we're going to move things back over to GNA 2, and we did. I did a live stream on GNA 2 the other day. I removed it because I feel it was a stream too hot for YouTube. It was regarding a restraining order somebody filed on me. The link to that video on Rumble is on my community wall. If you go 4 or 5 postings down, you'll see the posting and the link to Rumble. I think it has like 250 views right now or something. I thought I had closer to 300, but that's like 250 views. But anyway, I'm going to get going, folks. The front camera works well. The rear camera, I believe, is still... Look at that. They haven't fixed it. It's backwards, you see. Come on, YouTube. You're the best video platform in the world. You have the best techs in the world here in the San Francisco Bay Area. And this has been the problem since the beginning of the year. Look, it's backwards. And there's no way to fix it. Like, and same thing on Facebook. They used to have a button you could press to flip the image, but they got rid of that. Like, I don't understand why would they do that? And we've all reported it, and they haven't done a thing. Like, so many people have reported this issue to @Team YouTube on Twitter, and maybe I'll do it again tomorrow. But anyway, my image is flipped. All right, folks. Love you all. Thank you to everyone for being here. 45 in the box, 3 thumbs up. Please smash the thumbs up. Please share this out. Tomorrow, Don and I will be going live sometime in the early to mid afternoon Pacific time, Eastern time. It'll be late afternoon, early evening, and then I'm taking Dawn to dinner. And she came in here earlier and said I didn't sound too thrilled about that. Well, I don't really like the cost of dinner nowadays in California. It's skyrocketed, but I love my woman, and you know I'll find a way to pull the money out of my ass and take my lovely lady to dinner tomorrow night. In the meantime, folks, have a good one. Take care, and as always, be good to each other. See you all tomorrow with Dawn. Good night, everyone. And it'll be a publicly, it'll be a public stream that also has a subscribers-only chat. No members only on the streams with Dawn, per her request. Good night, everyone.